Hey Japanoblogers, rant time! Okay, so essentially this video is a rant on trying to get a Japanese cell phone.
More me than her, but yeah.
Well, we'll interlay what my process went through too. Okay, so here we go. Story time.
So, my idea was that I would go through the same process as her and get a Japanese cell phone so that I could call friends, call family, technically speaking, call businesses, basically have a Japanese, communication device. Well, while we were visiting Narita, we decided to stop at a Docomo store.
This was all yesterday.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
Anyway, and we thought the process was simple. Walk in, change my SIM card out for a Japanese SIM card, go into her contract, and everything should be hunky-dory.
Preface though, really quick. While Kyle was still in America, his speaker died on his current phone, so he just ended up getting a replacement. So we were thinking the fact that his phone technically wasn't even going to be that old, we could just sit there and insert a Japanese Docomo SIM card, which is something that Docomo said I could have done if I wanted to keep my iPhone 6 Plus. I'm now down to an iPhone 6. I don't care. Point is, our plan was just to buy a SIM card and switch it out.
Which, according to the people that I got the phone from, which is a legal phone, it was actually authentic, it's genuine and everything else.
Same thing.
It's a Samsung Galaxy S5, which is a phone I've had for the past year and a half or so, and it's been a great phone. The idea was to walk into the store, tell them that we need someone to speak English so we can communicate, and it turned out that we have to talk to someone on the, Docomo secure line or something like that?
Yep. Essentially, when you go into an establishment and you're asking for someone to speak English, you can either ask Eigo o hanasemasu ka or Eigo o hanaseru kata imasu ka.
Yeah, I didn't get that.
We'll translate here.
So, the person that we were talking to basically told us to hold on for a second while she went over, found the phone, dialed the English line, and then gave the phone to us.
Yep. Essentially what this service is they are a translating service between the store and us. So that way, my very broken Japanese would have not saved us at this point.
Yeah. So after the phone gets passed around between me and her and the service person that we're working with,
I'm later.
trying to figure everything out, it turns out that in order for my phone to be authentic enough for them to work with, I had to go into the About Phone section and the icon glossary and stuff like that to find a very specific logo, which is here.
Yep, right there.
And the only way that they would allow my phone to have a Japanese SIM card is if it had that logo. So I searched for about 10 minutes through everything in the About section of the phone, and I could not find it.
Yep. So essentially what ends up happening is Kyle's phone is unable to accept a SIM card from Japan.
Well, it turns out that the reason why that is, and I did some research on your phone while we were waiting.
I have data.
That based on the way that the wireless signals work, the FCC controls America's wireless frequencies, whereas another company controls Japan's and a few other countries as well.
Yep.
And this is called a giteki certification. There's a much longer name for it, and I cannot say to save my life right now.
We will insert it here.
But devices need to be verified on the Japanese Wi-Fi signal before they can actually connect and work. Now, technically, we walked over to the 7-Eleven and I connected to their Wi-Fi, which I didn't know my device wasn't certified in the Japanese Wi-Fi frequency, so technically what I did was illegal, technically.
As long as they don't find out, it doesn't matter. So after we found out his phone wasn't able to accept a SIM card, our next option was to sit there and actually try and buy him a brand new Japanese phone.
Which I went for the next to highest model, which in this case was a Nexus X5. They call it X5. which according to the store was 27 yen a month.
Which, yay, cheap, great, wonderful. If we stick it on my plan, it's not going to be too bad.
Yeah, 27 yen a month. That's basically 27 cents. I mean, come on.
Why say no?
So then we talk to the service lady again. She gives us the phone. We go through another translator and a bunch of conversations trying to figure out whether or not I can buy the phone, whether or not the phone can be added, and that's where we run into some trouble.
To put it quite simply, it's not going to work because Kyle is technically on a tourist visa.
Right.
Yeah. You can go to a company called Big Camera, and if you're just a tourist, which you're allowed up to 3 months on the tourist visa, at Big Camera you can buy a SIM card that will get you pretty much, I have it in my old iPhone, just data. That's all it's going to be good for is data.
Now keep in mind, this is at some locations, not every location, so no guarantee.
Yep. But when I first got here, because my iPhone has the little giteki, I was able to get a SIM card for it. Which saved me until I was able to get my actual phone. Now, my thing was I only got a SIM card that would give me 2 gigabytes for 3 months. So, yes.
Well, that's also plan B. One other thing that I was going through was the fact that since I was going to be added to her plan, they were confused as to why her visa technically runs out at the end of the school year, which in this case is the end of March.
Yay, instructor visas.
So according to them, since the visa was less than 15 months, I couldn't be added. Although how you did, I have no idea.
I was able to get my own contract by saying that I wanted to be here for at least 2 or 3 years, and that seemed fine even with just a year visa.
So I started talking to the guy on the other line and basically asked what are the other options. And he said that since the visa term is so short, one thing I could do is buy the phone outright.
Which is what I did with my new iPhone.
And the original price was going to be something around 98,000 yen or something like that.
Yep.
Which is like almost almost $1,000.
Yep.
Which wasn't an option. So I started talking to him, trying to figure out what other options I had. And through a little miscommunication, I thought that they had a special offer going that would knock down the price 93,000 yen, making the phone 5,000 yen.
Now, when we say knock down, we mean take off.
Yeah, which I learned afterwards.
After I whispered it in his ear.
Instead, it was the exact opposite. They were going to take off 5,000 yen, and the phone would still cost 93,000 yen,
Yeah.
which for a Nexus X5 is still kind of ridiculous. So that wasn't an option, and basically I still have no Japanese cell phone.
We're working on it. The thing that really confuses me is the fact that I was able to get a 2-year contract through Docomo while buying the same exact cell phone I had when I came here was going to cost me $1,000. I was able to downgrade to a 6. I don't know. Pretty much it's not the huge one that iPhones recently come out with, and I was able to pay like just a couple $100 I think for a phone. I went with a 64 gigabyte, which is what cost me that much because I like to have my music and my pictures and my videos. And pretty much the iPhone becomes my life, almost. But we're still working on a phone situation for Kyle. The one thing I came up with is the fact that since my phone, my old American iPhone 6 Plus, is giteki acceptable, we could go in with that phone, get a SIM card, and then he could have a Japanese phone.
Yeah, which is plan C. Plan B is that I can use Keith's little Wi-Fi device hotspot thingy, which has unlimited data, which is great, and just use my phone using the Wi-Fi signal and use something like Facebook or Google Hangouts or something to give people a call. Now in that case, I'd want to have to be my friend or have to have a number, etc. But at least that gives me access to 1, the internet, and 2, the capability to call at least her.
Yep. Which in the next couple of days, he will be taking the little hotspot with him because he has to go to Tokyo. without me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's gonna be fun.
That's kind of the reverse of how it was in America.
Yeah.
Quickly in America, my phone did not work. I was bouncing off of Kyle's hotspot off of his phone. Since I don't think I can use hotspot on my phone, I've actually got what's called a pocket Wi-Fi, which is an option you can have for internet here in Japan. It's about yay big. We'll insert picture somewhere. More pictures! Sorry guys. But he'll be taking that with him, and it will allow him to be able to have the internet outside of the hotel, and he'll be able to contact me if he needs to.
Yep. So basically, long story short, the TLDR version. If you have a phone from overseas that you want to bring to Japan, you must find this symbol. If you don't have this symbol, then networks will not be able to accept you unless certain circumstances apply.
Now, obviously, this is only if you're coming here to live. If you're coming here just on a tourist visa, you can go to a Bit Camera or some store like a Bit Camera and buy a gigabyte plan over 3 months, which is your limit on how long you can be here, unless you leave the country and come back.
Yeah. So even though we said in our coming to Japan video that everything was okay, this is our first gigantic hurdle.
This is the biggest hurdle and the worst hurdle that we've had. If you watch our pet process video, we thought that was going to be the big hurdle. Nope.
That was easy.
It is finding Kyle a phone.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But again, we're here in Japan. We at least have an option that will keep him connected until we figure something out.
Yep.
It might have to wait till he's on a dependent visa, which watch our We're Finally in Japan video, and you'll be able to figure out that. Oh, really quick, if you're coming here on a work visa, I've been told you cannot go to SoftBank, which you'll recognize SoftBank because of Ototo-san, the wolf. Point is, I've been told from other people that they will not work with those who have just a year-long working visa, which is what I have. So you can go to Docomo, or there's another service.
Yeah, basically it's AT&T versus Verizon, so.
Yep. We'll link the main companies that you can go with down below, and just remember SoftBank.
Yep.
Unless you get a multi-year working visa.
Alright, anything else?
We're in Japan!
Alright, right over.
Story time is done. So if you have any questions, comments, concerns about the entire phone process, or if you've run into something different that we did not discuss, leave it in the comment section below, or go to our website and leave it there.
And we'll try to answer as many questions as we can. We're still learning everything, so if we don't have an answer, we'll research it and try to get back to you.
Yep. And if you want to learn more stories, well, if you want to hear more stories like this and learn the process about getting around them, please subscribe to our channel. We would greatly appreciate it, and we love everyone who joins us.
Even those who are living vicariously through us.
We're talking to every one of you.
Mm-hmm.
But that's the end of this rant, and prepare for more to come. But we'll talk to you guys later.
Yep.
Alright, bye.
Jamate.